Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jumpin here, and this is going to be a Mass Effect 3 gameplay commentary. Today I'm going to be using the new human X-Cerberus Vanguard, pretty much the Phoenix Vanguard. Alright, let me get into this right away. The gun I'm going to be using is going to be the Rieger Carbine. I love this gun. It's one of my favorite in the whole game now, especially for a Vanguard. Best gun in my opinion, the Vanguard. The mods I'm going to recommend some of the extended barrel and pretty much extended magazine, or you could go for shredder mod. This gun can pierce, so but extended, I like extended magazine or whatever just for spare ammo. Alright, let me go ahead and get into the build. So for the bionic charge, I'm going to go for radius. Then weapon synergy, you definitely want weapon synergy with this guy just because of this gun. Like I said, this gun is literally the best gun now for Vanguards, I think. And then finally barrier, pretty standard. You know, you want to be able to get your barriers back, all that good stuff. Alright, now first thing I want to say is I do not go for smash on this build. I don't think smash is good for the Vanguard. I think you should save that for the adapt. Alright, but I do like Lash. Now, one thing about this Lash is that it's really weird. The detonating of it is weird, so I don't really even recommend that. I recommend damage. The reason why it's weird is because you actually, if they have a shield, you cannot actually detonate if they have a shield unless you have shield penetration. And the other thing is that you can't detonate any armor targets, so it's pretty useless against Reapers and, you know, a lot of Geth. And then for the second option, I definitely recommend recharge speed. I went for the damage over time, but yeah, that's stupid. You need this recharge speed just so, because this power, the good thing is that with shield penetration, you're going to be able to set up your own bombs. And if you have the recharge speed, you can do it very quickly. It's like 1.8 seconds. And then of course shield penetration, this is going to knock down any enemy, especially phantoms. That's the best part about it. You can, you know, take a phantom, knock it to the ground, charge it, and then blow it up with an explosion. It's pretty awesome in that aspect, but I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. I think the new powers are stupid for the most part. Alright, for this I'm gonna recommend damage and capacity, power damage, and weapons damage. You know, this is just what I think would be best for him. And then for fitness, I recommend durability. You know, you definitely need as much shields because he's a human and he's weak. And then martial artist because he's a Vanguard. And then fitness and expert. You don't need a shield recharge because, you know, he is a Vanguard, and obviously his shields are going to come back from charging, not from not the normal way. Okay, for the equipment I'm going to recommend is armor piercing ammo. 2, you don't really need 3 if you don't want to use it. Shield booster 3, shotgun rail amp 3, and then the new one, shotgun amp 1, is what I'm going to be using for this gameplay. Alright, so let's get into the gameplay. You know, the first thing I want to say is that I actually do now have a couple new characters, so if you guys want to leave a comment, you know, whichever one you want to pick for me to do next, please go ahead. You know, whatever gets the most likes or most, you know, votes, I will definitely do next. And the new ones I have all of them except for the Quarian Engineer. So if you want to see the X-Cerberus adapt, or if you, and you know, that build would include smash for sure. Singularity is a terrible power, so I do not like Singularity, and I would recommend smash for that build. And then the other one is the Vorcha Sentinel, and I would probably use the flamethrower on that build. So whichever one of those two you want to see, just go ahead and let me know, and I will do a video probably tomorrow with that build and gameplay. Alright, so first thing I want to say is that, yeah, this shotgun is hands down the best Vanguard shotgun in the game now. You know, now here's the way I feel is that, you know, honestly, if you really want to be very effective, try doing this on a Krogan Vanguard with, you know, a tank build. And with this shotgun, I mean, this shotgun is amazing just because, you know, you charge in and you get literally point blank to them and you unload the shotgun onto them, and as you can tell, this is on gold, and yeah, this is just killing them. This just does an insane amount of damage to Cerberus, and for the most part it does an insane amount of damage to you know, pretty much every faction. It's not the best against Reapers, but you know, I think it's really an anti-shield weapon and anti-health weapon. So armor, it's not the greatest against, but with armor piercing ammo, it does get the benefit from a shredder mod or from armor piercing ammo. So that is, really wicked. That means you can go through guardians, you can, get extra damage towards armor, things like that. So yeah, I mean, this gun is really amazing. It's really becoming one of my favorite shotguns. On an infiltrator, on a Vanguard, or on a Vorcha, it's a lot of fun to use. And yeah, as you can tell, it just mows down enemies so quickly. It's crazy. Now, the reason why I really don't like I told you in the last video, I really am not liking the DLC much, and that's still very true. The only thing I like out of the DLC so far, for real, is the weapons. The weapons are definitely all really good and very overpowered, especially the sniper rifle, but I'm not even going to get started on that again. But this thing is also very good and overpowered, but I think this is a lot more fair than the sniper rifle, just because you have to be literally point blank on them, to make this thing work. The assault rifle also is okay, just because it's extremely powerful, but it doesn't really have that much ammo, and it would take forever to get to level 10. So out of the new weapons, those are amazing. All the new weapons are absolutely godly, but character-wise, I just feel like BioWare, for the most part, kind of got lazy with these characters, in that, they didn't, for the Adapt to have Smash and Lash, that's just not original. Like, I really do believe that, in my mind, I think what they intended to do was to make it so that the Vanguard was going to get, like, a Lash, and the Adapt was going to get Whip, or not, Smash, or whatever. That's what I think they were going to do with this, with the DLC. But maybe they rushed it or something. Something happened along the way, and they just messed up or something. And when it came out, all the characters, it just sucks, because they all have one old power, and then they both have the same power setup with the Quarians and the X-Cerberus, Phoenixes, and the Vorcha. It's kind of unoriginal. Honestly, a Vorcha Sentinel and a Vorcha Soldier is, for the most part, the same thing. Just because the cluster nades are cool, I guess, but I really wouldn't recommend them for Vorcha Sentinel. So, and if you want to use... So, like I said, it's like the same thing. And Carnage is another power that is just really not that good. So, you're probably just going to go for Flame, and, you probably would just go for Flame and what are called on that... and cluster, Flame and the Bloodlust, obviously, for those builds. Like, that would make the most sense. Same with, and a lot of people go, but the one thing I do like about these ex-Cerberus characters, is that, like I said, at least for, like, this particular one, like, you just want the charge, honestly, and you do not want the Smash. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, man, Smash is so cool, it's so awesome, but the way I feel about it is that its recharge time is way too long, and it is a close range, move. So let's say you charge in, you're gonna have to wait to get, to even use Smash. But if, let's say, you run up to him and you use Smash, that makes a lot of sense. But if you're surrounded by enemies on gold, it's not very good for gold, because you're going to want to charge to get your shield back, but you can't, because you're in a recharge speed, you're in a recharge cooldown or whatever. I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. I don't really like the combination. So I think that Smash is definitely a very good Adapt power, where the Lash is actually very good Vanguard power. And the reason why the Lash is good is because, as you can tell, this is an extremely broken and, good, like, combination. It's just the whole charge with this Rieger shotgun or carbine or whatever. It's a very good combination in this game. I love it. But the thing about it, though, is that you could also, like, the main thing you could do is you could, like, lash them, and then boom, like right there, I exploded him. You could just literally do that non-stop, and as long as you had shield penetration on it, like, you could just continuously do it. Like I said, now I know my build was definitely off. Like, I didn't really like the way I built them, but, like, if you went for the recharge speed with this gun and everything, I mean, you could, especially if you had 200%, your Lash would take about, I think, like a couple seconds, or like a second to come back, like 1.5 seconds. So, it would make charging it, like, extremely effective. So yeah, I mean, overall, I kind of do believe that more than likely the Vanguard's going to be better than the Adapt, but My biggest beef with all the new characters is that I just feel like, they're besides the Vorcha. I mean, I don't know. The Vorcha is pretty unique with the whole bloodlust. It's pretty cool. But I don't think that the Vorcha Soldier is the best in the game. I still think the Turian is really good. I still think the Batarian is really good. And when it comes down to infiltrators, the Quarian infiltrator is cool, but the Solarian and Geth is honestly better. And the Engineer can't even stack up against the Solarian and the Geth Engineer. And same with, the Adapt and Vanguards, like, the Krogan Vanguard, the Human Vanguard, the Asari Vanguard. Those are all very good Vanguards. And this guy, I really don't think that he's better than any of them. Maybe the Asari, but not the Krogan, and probably not the Human. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. None of the new characters are really just outstanding. They're not like fantastic, which you would want them to be. And I think the reason why is just because I think BioWare really slacked with the DLC. I think they rushed it. Something happened along the way, and they weren't actually able to really come up with some really original, ideas. Like I said, if this guy just had Lash, and the whole idea was I was going to, Lash charge, that would be awesome. But then again, if the Adapt had Smash, then yeah, he could smash and then have a combination of something else. I thought that this guy was gonna have Lash to pull them in like Scorpion, because every time you do it, it's you gotta say get over just to be a total nerd, but that's just how you feel when you do it, at least. Or at least how I feel. But that's the thing. So you pull them in like the Scorpion move. And I thought the better power, a really good power for him, would have been Nova. Think about that. You could pull them in, to point blank right beside you, but right under you, Nova, and then they would die. Well, either they would die or they would be very close to death. And if they don't die, boom, charge. Like that would have been an insane combination, and a really fun combination in the game. And like I said, I just don't think that they really thought about it much, and that's really the part that is lacking on it. And the new maps, honestly, are okay, but they're just not that fantastic either. So, like I said, the only thing that I think that has been really fantastic out of the DLC has been the weapons, and that's a good thing. But weapons get old Weapons will get old way quicker than a character. You can play with a character all day and have a lot of fun just playing with that one character literally all day. But a weapon, you might use a weapon 2 or 3 times, and then you're like, I want to try, I want to switch it up a little bit. I'm not in the mood to snipe or to do this or whatever. I want to try something else. So that's how I feel. That's just how I feel about the whole DLC thing. Alright, but let me go ahead and talk about this guy and, of course, this gameplay. Now, like I was saying, this is the point where the Phantoms are going to get really heavy, so I'm going to have to be, on my game. Because, the idea of the Lash, which is good, is that if you can time it right, now you have to time it right, you can, I think this guy is amazing against servers just because of the Lash. Every time you see a Phantom coming at you, like I said, if you can time it right, then you can pull her, and then once you pull her, you can instantly charge her and then mess her up. That's the general idea of what you're going to be doing. And of course, it also helps if you have a lot of teammates to benefit you, like I did in this gameplay. I think I had a Asari Adapt, and then a Drell Adapt, and I believe I have a Solarian Engineer, maybe. Overall, everybody is just benefiting me somehow by tech bursting and doing bombs and stuff. So that was pretty nice. But in general, even if you didn't have it, there is still a lot of easy ways to deal with Phantoms and stuff. And the main one would be, like I said, what's gonna happen is this, and you'll see it in the gameplay. Sometimes when you use your Lash ability, the Phantom will put up its barrier or whatever you want to call that thing, and they don't take no damage. They can't be touched by it, or they'll just flat out dodge it. And that happens, yeah, that sucks. You don't want that to happen. But, but if you can time it right, then you can actually, right there, she actually ate it because she, stopped and blocked it or whatever. That's what they will do. But, if she's running at you or if she's behind a wall and not paying attention, you can hurry up and grab her, pull her into you, and then, charge her. And that will cause an explosion, and then you just shoot her to death or whatever you want to do. And it's really wicked. But yeah, that's like I said. So that's pretty much how this works and what you pretty much want to do with this guy. Like in general, like I said, what you're seeing, the 90, not even 90%, more like 98% of this gameplay is just going to be me charging and shooting them with this extremely overpowered gun. But if you wanted to do this more effectively, honestly, the best way to do it would be just on a Krogan Vanguard, being a tank, and flying in point blank and shooting this gun. Like, that's pretty much how it goes. Like I said, this is definitely the best Vanguard gun in the game, just because it's pretty much in a lot of ways designed for it. You want to be point blank on him, and what does a Vanguard do? Well, he gets point blank on him. So that's pretty much what will happen. Alright, so this is going to be Wave 7. And, this is Firebase White. I went ahead and just chose this map. I was thinking about doing one of the new maps again, but you guys can maybe comment and let me know if you want to see, I don't know, Goddess again or something. I will be willing to upload the new maps and stuff, but, I mean, I don't know. Like, it just depends on it. Like, for this Vanguard, I just didn't want to really do that. Now, right here, unfortunately, the stasis got broke somehow, and yeah, I knew I was going to be in trouble because, there's a lot of stuff on this pad. And it's insane. Like, unfortunately, I used an op pack. Nothing really happened, and I died. So that really was terrible. But I pretty much just got myself up. And that is a great idea. Like right there, when I got myself up, my buddy was like, hey man, I could have got you. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, he could have got me, but the truth of what would have happened is that if he would have got me, then there was a good chance that he was going to get killed in that process, and I don't like to risk my teammates. I expect the same out of my teammates as I put out there. I mean, most not everyone is like on point like I am, but for the most part, and right here you'll see a whole lashing thing. Boom, I lash her, and then I just charge her. She explodes, and I shoot her, and I believe there's another one right here. So boom, you lash her. You charge her, and you shoot her. Or you can also charge her again once it recharges, and that should kill her as well. And like I said, the main thing, the way you want to pull that off is just by when they're running at you or anything like that, you should be able to do it quite easily. And it's awesome. So that's pretty much the way this Vanguard works. And if you don't have this gun, and now this is crazy. Like, what a freaking Banshee! Where did this thing come from? Like, that's insane. Like, you gotta remember, this is not over the weekend. This is like after the DLC has come out. This was on the DLC came out on a Tuesday. This happened on a Wednesday. So the very next day. Like, this is insane. Like, that I didn't get that. I don't know if that was just a glitch. Maybe they, but they were supposed to take them out. Now I had not fought a Banshee since the weekend. So for that to randomly pop up like that, I thought that was really crazy. Right here, I'm gonna go ahead and charge this stupid thing just to get it dead, so that it wouldn't mess up the next wave. All right, but like I was saying, in general, this Vanguard, he is fun. He is what he is. If you want to do your own bombs, you can always just do that. You don't necessarily have to use this gun. And I know a lot of people might not have this gun. If you do have them, like I do, I really do recommend try the whole. Like I said, charge-in strategy, and not charge-in, but the lash-in charge strategy, because it does work very well. It is a pretty amazing combo, but the best thing to really do is just to use this gun, because it is super awesome and a lot of fun. So, all right, like I said, I don't know though. Like, I'm a little iffy. Like, I do have the new characters, like Vortex Sentinel though. Like, I do not like the flamethrower ability. I really don't. Like, I'm just really not into it. But Vortex Sentinel, like, when it comes down to the Sentinel, I just think that the cluster nades, if you're not running with it, if you're not running with a team of like, adepts or something, like, it just, those things are not going to work, they're not going to work that well. Now, this sucks. Like, I couldn't charge right here, and I got freaking dropped. But, anyway, if you're not playing with like a group of adepts, like the cluster nades, they're just not going to work properly, honestly. And they're not very strong unless you can do an explosion. That's pretty much how you have to think about it. So the flamethrower is definitely probably going to be the better power on the Vortex Sentinel, but I just think that the Vortex is designed to play very fast paced, be a tank that just cannot die. because I mean, when you get bloodlust going, I mean, you really sometimes you cannot die, but you will die if you stand still, and that's pretty much the problem that you're gonna face when you use the new power, the flame power is that you stand still. Now that might work great on bronze, that might work great on silver, but on gold, you will die. And I based almost everything that I go off of, like what is good and what is not good, on the standards of gold and not necessarily on the standards of silver. Now I will mention a lot of times like, hey guys, this is really fun on silver, this is really cool on bronze or whatever. Actually, I never say bronze because I don't ever play bronze, but I will bring up if something's good on silver, but not necessarily would be good on gold, because there is a lot of times where you'll face that, where you will have things that are still really cool and really fun to do, but really a silver kind of thing. And a good example of that is the flame power. It's just the whole, like I said, if you're trying to like this is also really dumb right here. This freaking turret. I was trying to get away from it, but yeah, humans are just so, their health and shield are just so low compared to the aliens, and it sucks. But my teammate's gonna come in here and get me up, and then he's gonna get dropped too. It's whatever though. Like I was saying though, I don't know. Like it's just, like, I don't know. Like the DLC is. It is cool. It is something different, but I don't know. Like everything in this game, like this would happen to me the other day. I'll be honest with you guys. We were playing a game of Gold Reapers, and it took us 46 minutes to beat it. Now that's literally the longest it's ever taken me. It's ever taken me to beat gold. That was not a solo. So like that was insane. It took us so long to beat it, and the reason why was because we were all using new characters. And now, I don't want to just say, oh, well, it's because all the new characters suck. Because the truth of the matter is, yeah, the new characters, they kind of suck. But besides that, the other thing that was also happening was the fact that, we you don't really know how to play with the new characters yet. There's certain things that are going to be really good and really broken that nobody really just, people just don't know yet. But at the same time, like, there is an issue, which is the fact that it took us 46 minutes. Like, and we were running with Vorcha, we were running with, this Vanguard, like an Adapt, the new Adapt, and I forgot what else. I think it was 2 Vorchas and two Cerberus, and it was just terrible. Like, and then I failed a couple games on gold trying to use the new characters. It was always groups of people also using new characters, like when we had a lot of trouble. But then, like, let's say we switch over back to, like, everyone using a Geth, people having a Geth Infiltrator on our team, a Geth Engineer, things like that, Solarian Infiltrator, or, just very standard good characters, Krogan Vanguard, things like that. We had no trouble whatsoever. I freaking look at that phantom feed, that's ridiculous. But yeah, we had literally no trouble. And now, of course, there's always the argument that there's always going to be that argument out there that's going to say, well, of course, everyone's used to using the Geth by now and things like that. That's true, but at the same time, like, even though that is true, I don't know. Like, I just feel that even though people are used to using those characters, like, those characters are just so good. Like, the Geth were amazing. The Batarians are awesome, especially the Soldier. But, those characters were so good for what they were. The Krogan Vanguard, amazing Vanguard. And the Asari Justicar is literally the best, like, setter-upper of explosions in the game. So, like, when you think about it, like, that's insane. Like, those characters were so, in my opinion, I think they were all very well designed, very well thought out, and then when, these particular ones, they're just not really well thought out, and or maybe they just can't top, like, obviously, like, forever and ever, more than likely, the Solarian Infiltrator and the Geth Infiltrator are going to be the best infiltrators, especially the Solarian. Because he is pretty much still the best character in the game, no matter what you do. But at the same time, like I was saying, like, it's just, I mean, I don't know. The Quarian's cool, but the Quarian is just, he's third best as of now, and and like the Vanguard is maybe third best at as of now. So when you think about that, that's insane. Like like, do you want to use the best or do you want to use the third best? And it's not about like being a tryhard and always using the best, almost overpowered things in the game, but it's more about like having success and having fun. And I'm sorry, but it's normally not fun to play with something that is not as good as something else. You're going to be like, man, this thing sucks. Like, do you want to use a Quarian engineer on gold, or do you want to use a Solarian engineer on gold? Like, that's what that's how I would compare it. Obviously on gold, you're going to want to use a Solarian engineer, or a Geth engineer, something like that. So I don't know, that's just how I feel. Alright, so this is going to be the extraction wave. What I recommend is, if you're going to try this guy, just start using your Lash on this last wave. Stay back and just use your Lash. And maybe, defend your teammates if Phantoms or anything get close, but do not go charging out anywhere, because you will instantly die. I think everybody knows that by now. This is just, it's just not a good idea. But yeah, obviously right here, I can definitely defend my teammates and try to help them out as best as I can. Now, the other great thing about the Lash, even if you didn't blow them up, like, just knocking them down will, knocking down a Phantom really makes it, like, it makes it nothing. Like, if it falls down, it's dead. It's just kind of how it goes. So that's, that's pretty much what's up. Like I said, and the biggest downside to the Lash is the fact that you cannot detonate explosions on armor targets, and without shield penetration, you cannot detonate explosions on shielded targets. So that's just stupid. Like, like, that's just so dumb. Like, I cannot believe they did that with this power. Like I said, obviously for the Vanguard, I think it's great just because of the fast recharge and all that good stuff, and the fact that he can set off his own bombs. But outside of him, like, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, that's just the best way to put it. So. Alright, so we got 20 seconds left. It's pretty much time to just sit in the LZ and hope for the best. And I'm pretty, I'm not even going to build up suspense here, because, we're going to get the full extraction. This Firebase White is easy as hell. So, I'm going to get one more epic little grab at the end, and boom. Yeah, got that bitch. Alright guys, so I really hope you enjoyed that gameplay. Like I said, please just leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see. The only one I don't have right now is the Quarian engineer, the male engineer. So, vote. Tell me what you want to see. I will definitely bring that out tomorrow. And, just continue to talk about this DLC and, and bitch about the new weapons or whatever, who knows. But that, yeah, like I said, so that's going to be it. Please comment, please like, please subscribe, and like always, guys, have a nice day.